Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm giving you 10 tips for studying abroad. So if you are interested in studying abroad or if you're about to study abroad, this video will hopefully help you. I recently studied abroad in Paris this past quarter and I picked up a few things while I was there. So these are my tips. Hopefully they help you and let's get started. My first tip is to get a phone plan that works. So whether you are sticking with your American phone plan or you're buying an international one, make sure it works and like you can use your data and your phone and everything. I personally didn't buy an international plan, or I didn't buy like a foreign phone plan. I have Sprint, and Sprint actually works internationally and it's included in your regular plan. So make sure you contact your American service provider and ask if they do that. So I know for sure T-Mobile and Sprint both have international roaming. All you have to do is turn on data roaming on your phone and you can use your phone. Abroad in Paris, a lot of my friends used Orange Mobile or Orange and Free Mobile, and I know one of my friends said that she liked Free Mobile a lot more, so you can check that out. I know that they're not too expensive and they're pretty affordable for what you get. So definitely recommend that because you want a working phone. It's really helpful, it's good for safety, and if you're ever lost, you can use Google Maps, you can call someone, just like it's good to have a phone that you can use. Tip number 2 is to bring a pair of shoes that you don't mind trashing and make sure they're comfortable. So I personally brought my Vans. Don't bring shoes that are uncomfortable because you're never gonna wear it and that's just extra space in your luggage. Also, for example, I brought my Steve Madden Chelsea boots and I wear those things everywhere, but they were in such bad shape and not like, they were like teetering on the edge of gonna throw away. So I brought those and then I just wore them all the time in Paris and I like didn't care. And then before I left to go back home, I just like tossed them out because they were like just destroyed. I'll insert a picture of what happened to the sole of my boot, of one of my boots. Yeah, it was a sad moment. Tip number 3 is do not overpack. I know it's hard. I had such a hard time. I was even texting my friend who had studied abroad already, like what I should pack and everything, and she was telling me like, pack your suitcase and then take out half of it. And I was like, girl, how do I even do that? Luckily, a couple of my friends visited me while I was abroad, and so I kind of like gave them stuff to take home. But definitely don't overpack. I didn't think I would buy that many things while I was abroad, but I was wrong. My 4th tip is to always carry a reusable bag with you, and you guys have no idea how much this comes in handy. I just always have one now in my backpack. So, cause sometimes like after school, I'll wanna go grocery shopping, but I don't wanna pay extra for the paper bag, even though it's like 10 cents. You can make impromptu grocery shopping things, or like if things get too heavy, you could just like toss it in that bag. It's just really useful. It's like, it weighs nothing, so it doesn't hurt to have it. My 5th tip is a little weird and a little random, but it is that if you have like a certain amount of time to spare, I would say like maybe 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and you need to use the restroom, I would recommend going to a museum's restroom because, or I guess this only applies in Europe or France specifically, I don't know. But you get free entry because you're a student. So you can get into the museum for free and then you get a free toilet and it's clean. So, and if you want afterwards, you can walk around the museum. It's like a win-win situation. Depends on what museum you go to. I went to d'Orsay and the line was like really short, and usually when you have a student card you can just like walk in and they just like look at it and you can go in. So I did that and I was like, oh, what a fun little way to use the restroom. My 6th tip is to change your phone language to the country's language that you are studying abroad in. Since I was in France, I changed my phone's language to French so that I can learn the language a little better and to kind of like always see it. And it was good for a while. I kind of stopped after like a month because I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I would highly recommend it if you are learning French or Spanish or whatever language that you are learning. Would definitely recommend changing your phone language to it just because you're on your phone so much every single day, and just seeing the same words every single day really helps. My 7th tip is to be yourself, but also try to improve yourself. So I know for me personally, my example is I spoke up a lot more in class. Usually before I had studied abroad, I never really spoke up in class. I was kind of like, I'm not gonna answer because first of all, I don't know, like the answer's obvious, or I don't want to sound dumb, or if I get it wrong, and all this stuff. And then when I was abroad, the classrooms and like the class size was a lot smaller, and I knew every single person in the room, including the professor and everything. And I just felt a lot more comfortable, and so I started speaking up more in class, and I don't know, I'm really proud of myself for doing that because it's something that I didn't do before, and I feel like it really did help my whole learning environment and my learning experience. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, like doesn't necessarily have to be speak up in class more. Just like anything, just try to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because I think studying abroad is just the perfect opportunity to do so. My 8th tip is kind of related to what I said previously, but it is to get out of your comfort zone and be more open. Usually when you're abroad, you are with other students, not necessarily from your same university. Like I know for me, we had a lot of students from different schools around the United States, and then I was also in a French university, and that class was just a bunch of international people. And I think it's really important to be open-minded, and I feel like taking a class at the French university with the international students made me more open-minded, because I would say that I'm pretty open-minded already prior to going, but I think just learning their different mindsets was very cool. And not only that, it also applies to the country that you are studying abroad in. A lot of the times, if you're not open-minded to the culture, like that's kind of when the whole culture shock comes into play, when you're just like, for example, if I was going and I was just like very American minded, and I was just like, why is the service so slow? Why is no one checking up on me? Like, why are they like this? That's so dumb. Then that just like ruins the whole experience and ruins like half of your time there, because probably the second half you're gonna get used to it. I would just recommend being more open-minded. I feel like I was telling my friends this, like I didn't experience culture shock while I was there. I experienced reverse culture shock when I came back, but when I was there I didn't experience it because I just feel like I was so open-minded and I was just very flexible with everything. Being open-minded is just a great way to open yourself up to new opportunities, and you're just gonna have a better time overall. My 9th tip is to document your experience in some sort of way. Whether it's like a blog, a journal, a YouTube channel, a Tumblr, like whatever it is, document it, because the time is going to go by so fast, and I am so mad at myself for not making a Tumblr or something to document my experience, because I vlogged and I tried to blog, but those two things I feel like I put so much pressure on myself to do that the content never comes out live, if that makes sense. But I wish I did like a Tumblr and just like did daily entries, just like as a journal kind of thing, because journaling takes me like hours, so I probably should have done that. But yeah, like it's just really nice to look back on, and time will fly by, and you're just, if you didn't document it, you're gonna wish you did, and you can't relive the 4 months. My 10th tip is to travel, but also remember to explore the city that you are studying abroad in. I know this was difficult for me because traveling around Europe is so cheap when you are in Europe, but I was like, I'm also studying abroad in Paris because I like Paris, so like I need to explore Paris more. So I tried to explore Paris during the weekdays, and then the weekends I would travel. But I feel like if you go through your study abroad experience and at the end of it you like don't even know much about the city that you studied abroad in, it's kind of sad. So definitely remember to explore your own city. Like, it's good to travel, definitely take advantage of it, but remember that you chose that city for a reason, and you should, you know, discover it more. On that same note, I did travel a lot while I was abroad, so if you guys want a more travel specific study abroad video, give this video a thumbs up so I know. Those are all the tips I have for you. I'm sorry if this video was kind of all over the place. I was kind of rambling a lot, but if you guys liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want more study abroad videos, and be sure to subscribe to my second channel, The Classified Life, because all of my study abroad vlogs are going up on there. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye!